Hi everybody, I'm Justin Stolzheimer. I'm a website designer here in Denver, Colorado at FusionBox, and I'm here to talk to you for a few moments about why Apple.com should not be the redesign inspiration for your new website. Every website design client of mine has always asked for the same criteria for their redesign. They want it to be clean, they want it to be simple, they want it to be modern. Same three buzzwords every time. And they all say they want it to look just like Apple.com. Yes, they do. Every client. By far, it's the most referred to site that anyone wants their redesign to look like, more than any other site. But what's so special about Apple.com? Why do our clients all seek to achieve that level of design? Well, let's take a look. As you can see here, this is one of the pages from the Apple.com site as it is today. It looks pretty clean, simple, and modern. Digging into it a little deeper, though, from a usability standpoint, it's got a few issues. It's a tiny branding area. There's very little room for copy, and there's not really a clear call to action of what the user's supposed to do. That works for Apple, but it probably won't work for your client. Apple's built a brand trust and recognition through making beautiful hardware, really slick software, and they've already got a crazy rabid fan base that loves everything they do. It wouldn't really matter what the website looked like for Apple.com because so many people have already associated Apple with quality. Now, the Apple website is just a tiny part of their overall brand. If your client doesn't already have the same products, brand recognition, marketing strategy that Apple does, just copying the website is not going to do a whole lot. This is your client for your redesign. It's the Cecil's Business Cat Supply Emporium. They probably don't have the same budget that Apple does, and probably don't have the same history that Apple does. This is probably what they have right now. It's a GeoCities site, circa 1995. Probably hasn't been updated in years, and they probably haven't really had a strong reason to. So they come to you, they tell you you want Apple.com, you know, they're on a budget, so you put together sort of a clean slate template for them to update their products and relaunch with a new look and feel, Web 2.0. But since they don't have the assets and the pieces that Apple does, this is probably more like what you're going to wind up with after a short time. As you can see, not real an improvement, and we've lost all that clean, simple, modern mantra that your client was after from the get-go. Part of this is just because Apple has the money to spend on all these other pieces. They spent $1 billion last year on their advertising, and the average small business only spends about $4,800 a year. That is something. So let's say Cecil has the budget, decides to go out and shoot new photography, write some new copy, do a total rebrand, and come back and update the Apple template with this new content. And you'll probably end up with something like this. It's pretty clean, looks a lot sharper, very clean, simple, modern, but you've lost all the originality. Now it looks just like another duplicate of Apple.com. And you're now one of a million other websites doing the exact same thing, copying Apple.com. As soon as Apple innovates and moves on from this look and feel, you're just going to be one of another million copycats doing nothing original. But there are some things we can take from Apple.com that your users might find useful, especially if you're trying to sell something. We'll break it down a little bit and see if we can use the bare bone structure of the website for your client's redesign. Here we're looking at a basic wireframe. This is part of any redesign process that you're going to come across where you just sort of sketch out the pieces of the site. This is directly based on Apple's site that we looked at earlier. Taking these bare bones and redesigning it completely, I would come up with something more like this. It's still very clean, very simple, very modern, but we've taken away that direct lift from Apple's look and feel. We've given them a more cohesive branding area. We've completely redesigned the top nav. We've kept the product layout, but restyled that as well. And we've given them a very clear call to action of what they're supposed to do. All these things are going to help your redesign be more successful without having to copy Apple directly. So If your client wants to use apple.com as an inspiration, that's fine, but don't copy it directly. Innovate and try to redesign something original based on the same structure. Thanks, everybody.